Cool, welcome to this live class. This is on PTE listening, select missing word, or maybe we should call it select missing words because sometimes you have to select more than one word. What does select missing word look like in the listening section of your test? It looks like this. This is what you're going to look at during this part of the exam. You get a set of instructions, and actually these instructions are important for this particular task. You get an audio player, and this is also really important. And I'll tell you what's more important is this little timer here. We'll get to that in a second. And then you get a set of 3 to 5, usually 3, 4, or 5 answer options. The answer options are either going to be a single word or a phrase like this. So it'll be one word, or it's going to be like an adjective noun, or here it's like a preposition, phrase, something like that. What happens? Well, let me explain what you have to do before we do that. So, actually, no, I believe that's what the what happens tells you. What happens? So you get 7 seconds preparation. So it comes on the screen and you get 7 seconds, which is important. Then you hear the audio. The audio is quite short, from 20 to 70 seconds. What happens is the audio, the last word or the phrase will be missing, and the word or phrase will be replaced by a beep sound. What you have to do, number 3, is select the missing word or words that are missing to complete the sentence accurately. Not necessarily grammatically. All the answer options are going to be grammatically possible. It's all about meaning. So it's about completing what's being said in terms of meaning. After that, you just click next. So that's what's happened. That's what happens. It's pretty straightforward. It's testing your ability to anticipate what will be said. Okay? Because this is how it works. When I'm speaking English, or speaking any language really, it doesn't matter if it's English, and I'm having a conversation with you, you should be able to sort of anticipate what I'm going to say. You won't necessarily be able to tell what words I'm going to use to say it, but if you're following the meaning of what I'm saying, you're following the meaning, you're following the meaning, you're following the meaning, then the next thing I say, you should be able to follow that meaning. It's not going to be completely arbitrary or random or unexpected. In other words, it's going to be expected. So you anticipate it. And we do this all the time. We do this all the time. Or else we couldn't have conversations because they would be absurd. Because I would talk about something and then talk about something else, then talk about something else. That's not what we do. I talk about something, I add information to that thing, I add information, and you sit there and you go, ah, yes, ah, yes, ah, yes, ah, yes, I get it, I get it, I get it. So you're anticipating what's going to be said. This is what it tests for. Now, if you don't get it, you can't select the correct one, or it will be guesswork because it just won't be clear to you. So anyway, you'll get 2 or 3 of these in the exam, okay? So you can expect 2 or 3. How are you scored? You're scored like this. If you get it right, you get 1 point. If you get it wrong, you get 0 points. There's no negative marking, so if you're unsure, just guess. And the other thing is here, if you're unsure, don't waste time. Don't sit there for 30 seconds looking at the possibilities. If you don't get it, you don't get it. And if you do get it, you will get it immediately. That's the thing. So what's the approach to this particular task? Well, we're going to have 3 parts. We're going to have before listening, while listening, and then after listening. So here's the approach. Before you listen. So you're going to have 7 seconds preparation time. So nothing will happen for 7 seconds. What you need to do is read the first sentence of the instructions, because that first sentence, it will show you the topic of the talk. For example, if you look here, this is where your eyes should go first. You will hear a lecture about the placebo effect in medicine. Why is that important? It's really important to prime your brain, to get your brain ready, to let your brain know what the talk will be about. Because all of a sudden, you know that you're going to hear a lecture about the placebo effect. So you're going to hear words like medication or treatment or something like that. By the way, these are all medical-based lectures, but this is specific. So if you want to anticipate what will be said, you first want to know what it's about. Yes. Yes, that will help you enormously. So that's where you look first, okay? While listening, you should listen, obviously listen, 95%, and glance 5% at the answer options, okay? So you want to listen, and you want to be 95% listening, 5% looking at the answer option. So it would look like this. So you're really listening, but you're sort of just glancing at those answer options. Of course, you're not choosing them because you will not know which one is correct until the end, but you're just sort of glancing, listening, glancing, listening, glancing. And then you should, again, this is all about context. Context is everything. Understand from the beginning to the end so you know what it's about. Pay attention to the timer so you can really focus on the final sentence. So that timer is ticking down from 35 seconds, 34, 33, 32. When it gets down to 5, 4, 3, you really should be paying close attention so you know, yes, okay, got it, it's that one there. After listening, you will know the answer or you won't. The answer should be immediately clear. If you don't get it immediately, guess and move on. Okay, let's just do a really simple one just so you can sort of practice this approach and get the idea of this task. So read the instructions, please. Cool. Now I want you to listen very carefully and glance at the answer options. 3, 2, 1. My wisdom teeth are really sore. Do you know I haven't been to the dentist in over 2 years? Maybe I should. What's the answer there? Yeah, cool. Oh. Good, dead simple. And you should not spend more than 10 seconds on, you basically, you know it immediately or you don't. And you click the answer, click next, move on, done. If you don't get it, don't waste time. Choose one, move on. Save your time for the other tasks. Cool, okay, so we're going to do this again. And this time, I'm just going to read it to you. So, this is the transcript. Obviously, you won't see this in the exam, but it says, my wisdom teeth are really sore. Teeth, teeth, teeth. That's important. Do you know I haven't been to the dentist in over 2 years? Maybe I should make an appointment, drive to the countryside, go surfing, visit the hospital. Well, the answer is make an appointment, obviously, because you're talking about teeth. It's about the dentist. You haven't been to the dentist in 2 years. Maybe I should. And you anticipate what the speaker's going to say, make an appointment. That's the correct answer there. Good, you got it. Let's do a tough one that's, it's the same approach, but the content's going to be more complex. Use the same approach to answer this one. 7 seconds starts now. Okay, listen to the lecture and glance at the answer options. Listen very carefully. 3, 2, 1. Our community needs a better understanding of the biology of pain and how it plays out in individuals to be able to combat the national epidemic of painkillers. Specifically, we need a shift in emphasis in drug development towards understanding how people differ in their response to pain medications to develop more precise, safer, and sorry, the thing disappeared at the last second there. Oh, interesting. Interesting. This is a good one. Okie dokie, quickly put in your answers. You should get it almost immediately. Cool. All right. Let's look at that again. Let's look at that again. I'm going to play the audio. I want you to read along now. Read along. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Our community needs a better understanding of the biology of pain and how it plays out in individuals to be able to combat the national epidemic of painkillers. Specifically, we need a shift in emphasis in drug development towards understanding how people differ in their response to pain medications to develop more precise, safer, and there's a particular phrase in there which is absolutely critical. And Mariam Sajid's got it. All right, so I'm going to just bear with me for a second. All right, have a look at this slide. I'm going to play it again. I want you to pay attention to this phrase. Our community needs a better understanding of the biology of pain and how it plays out in individuals to be able to combat the national epidemic of painkillers. Specifically, we need a shift in emphasis in drug development towards understanding how people differ in their response to pain medications to develop more precise, safer, and actually it should have this phrase too, combat the national epidemic of painkillers. This is an absolutely critical phrase. If you got that one, then you would get, yeah. Why would you need to combat the national epidemic of painkillers? What would that mean? Let me clear these drawings and let's have a look at the answer here. D, less addictive treatments. So if you're trying to combat the national epidemic of painkillers, you want to develop painkiller treatments that are less addictive. If you got D, great work, that's good. Cool, that was a bit of a tricky one, but that's the kind of level of difficulty that you will get. And you can see that understanding what comes before is the only way to anticipate what will come next. Cool. So what's the key to select missing word or select missing words? Well, context is key. Context is key. If you understand what was said, you can anticipate what will be said. Okay? And I mean, if you really understand what was said, you can understand what will be said. That was a quick one. I'm going to stop recording. We'll do a quick Q&A and then I'll stop it there.